All right, so second media day right now. Well, how does it feel, coming with your story, various spots, but now to be repping this university on the biggest stage twice in a row?
I'm really blessed, really blessed. 3 years ago when I came to this university, I pictured myself doing this, and, it's just a blessing, just to go through for God, to go through with the plans, and me to continue to work, and just to be able to be here and represent, this university with them giving me the chance that they gave me, obviously with my story, and Coach Dillingham taking the chance on me, coming here representing my team, letting the world know, everything we about our culture. It's a blessing.
So we caught up after spring ball, but now that I've had a couple months of the summer workouts. How do you feel? Kind of the new guys are coming along, and also just kind of the culture is coming along. As fall camp's just a couple weeks away.
I think the first 2 years being here, I think that was really us trying to establish the culture. I think the culture is there now, so it's kind of just the guys that's coming in upholding the standard. The standard is the minimum for us. We expect to be at the standard or above the standard each and every day. So I really feel like the guys, they've seen the product last year, how we changed it that quickly. So they definitely bought in, to us and the leaders, what the coaches are preaching, just everybody in the building, obviously, you guys been around, we're one big family, one big brotherhood, and, we just come to work each and every day while having fun, working hard while having the most fun in the country.
So obviously, have that Pat Tillman patch there on your jersey. What does it mean to you to once again be a member of that select leadership council?
It's a blessing, Pat Tillman stood for a lot, he's a huge, hero, iconic figure, for ASU. And, obviously playing this position that he plays, that he played, him being a leader, a vocal guy, I definitely wear this patch with an honor, and definitely want to spread it amongst my teammates, show the young guys that, you can have an impact on the people that you play with and just the fans and the community, you can have an impact, so it's just definitely a blessing.
So many expectations placed on this program, on a bunch of you guys and such. How are you seeing this team just kind of, bear the weight kind of these external expectations?
Because, they weren't there from the start. So, it's like, so it's just really pretty normal, really don't buy into it. We just buy into the work each and every day. We're in the building with each other each and every day. All we can do is push each other to be the best we can be each and every day. And then, we put that together collectively on Saturdays, so we're able to go out there and perform, and get the job done. So I feel like we just do a good job of being us, try not to be anybody else, A lot of teams might like the glitzy, glamour, and things of that nature, but we just show up for work every day. That's it.
Thoughts on the new uniforms?
I really like them. I like the numbers on the side, I really love this across the chest. I really feel like, this should be shown. We definitely should represent this, Probably last year, in a couple of those games, later on, just having this, just letting people know that, Arizona State is here, because obviously, people try to play us a little like, oh, who is that, So I think, basically with these words on our chest now, and what we do on Saturday is definitely going to force people to pay attention across the world.
Of course, it's all the talk of college football world, the video game. Yourself coming in a little bit to higher rated this year than perhaps last year. Do you play the game? How prevalent amongst the team is the game? It's
played a lot. Especially since the newer game is coming out, especially after the season we had. The guys will be excited to see new Raiders, things of that nature. I really don't pay attention to it. Really, I play it a little bit, but I try to kind of stay away from football when I'm not, really focused in on it, because I'm really focused in on football a lot. But it'd be good to play the game, especially with my overall a little higher. I might get up on there and raise it up all the way. I feel like that, but no, it's just fun. It's a blessing to be in the game. Seeing that game as a kid, and being able to play it, being on it 2 years in a row. It is just a blessing.
Ultimately, what is going to need to happen this fall for you to be able to look back upon it and say this was a success?
Just to put in what you get out. I feel like what you invest in is what you get out. I feel like I'm always a guy that trusts the work. And I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Just keep working hard, keep pushing these guys each and every day, keep allowing them to push me to be, the best I can be, and then, show up on Saturdays and do my job.